On a seemingly ordinary spring morning in Maplewood, Ohio, the sun rose over the charming suburban neighborhood. It was a place known for its tree-lined streets, picturesque homes, and a close-knit community where everyone knew each other's names. Children played in the yards, and the scent of fresh coffee wafted through the air as families prepared for the day ahead. But beneath the surface of this idyllic setting, a sinister plot was brewing, one that would shatter lives and alter the course of many. On April 17, 2019, the tranquil facade of Maplewood would soon give way to a dark reality. This is the story of Daniel Cooper, a man driven by a twisted obsession that led him to commit the unthinkable, murdering his wife, Rebecca, to pursue a relationship with her daughter, Lily. Rebecca Cooper was well known in Maplewood for her warmth and generosity. At 48 years old, she was the epitome of a loving mother and dedicated community member. Her infectious smile could light up a room, and her kindness extended to everyone around her. Neighbors often remarked how Rebecca would go out of her way to lend a hand, whether it was organizing neighborhood barbecues or volunteering at the local food bank. Rebecca lived in a beautiful two-story home adorned with blooming flower beds and vibrant paint. Inside, the walls were decorated with family photos, capturing precious moments with her daughter, Lily, who was now 19 and studying to become a doctor. The kitchen always smelled of freshly baked cookies, a testament to Rebecca's love for cooking and her nurturing nature. But behind the warmth of her smile, Rebecca faced challenges that no one could see. Her marriage to Daniel was a constant source of tension. Although they had a seemingly happy life together, Rebecca sensed a growing distance between them. Daniel, 16 years her junior, was charming and handsome but had recently become increasingly detached. What Rebecca didn't realize was that Daniel's heart wasn't just drifting away, it was fixated on something far more disturbing. As the days passed, his feelings for his stepdaughter, Lily, began to consume him. On the fateful morning of April 17th, Rebecca was bustling around the house, preparing for an upcoming family vacation to Orlando. She was excited, her mind filled with thoughts of sunshine, fun, and family bonding. Rebecca had even bought new outfits for the trip, which she laid out on her bed. At around 8:30 a.m., Lily, who had been studying late for her upcoming exams, made her way down to the kitchen for a quick snack. As she entered, she was met with a sight that would haunt her for the rest of her life. Her mother lying motionless on the kitchen floor. The can of Diet Cola Rebecca loved lay nearby, spilled across the floor. Panic set in as Lily rushed to her mother's side, shaking her desperately, calling her name. When there was no response, she grabbed her phone and dialed 911, her hands trembling and her heart racing. "Please, come quick, my mom, she's on the floor," Lily cried, her voice breaking with terror. When the paramedics arrived, they found Rebecca Cooper unresponsive. Despite their best efforts, she was declared dead at the scene. The shock of losing her mother so suddenly left Lily in a state of disbelief. Just the day before, they had been discussing their upcoming trip, laughing and making plans. Now, Lily was left alone, consumed by confusion and sorrow. Detective Emma Lawson had been with the Maplewood Police Department for over 15 years, known for her sharp instincts and methodical approach. When she received the call about Rebecca Cooper's death, she knew she had to act quickly. Upon arriving at the Cooper home, she was struck by the eerie calm that hung in the air. The house was immaculate, no signs of a struggle. Rebecca's purse sat untouched on the counter, and the back door was locked from the inside. The kitchen was filled with the scent of freshly brewed coffee, a stark contrast to the grim scene before her. As Lawson surveyed the area, her gaze fell upon the half-empty can of Diet Cola next to Rebecca's body. This detail struck her as odd. Why was there only a small amount spilled on the floor? The way Rebecca lay, so still and peaceful, did not match the chaotic scene one might expect from a sudden heart attack. "Something doesn't feel right," Emma murmured to herself, noting the calmness in the room. She ordered an autopsy and began gathering statements from Lily and Daniel Cooper. Daniel Cooper arrived home shortly after the paramedics. His face was a mask of shock, but to Detective Lawson, there was something unsettling about his demeanor. As Lily wept in the living room, Daniel appeared calm, almost too calm, as he recounted the events of that morning. "I was at work when Lily called," he said, his voice steady. "I rushed home as soon as I could." Yet, as Detective Lawson interviewed him, she couldn't shake the feeling that Daniel was hiding something. His emotions seemed muted, as if he were playing a part in a tragic play rather than genuinely mourning his wife. When asked about his relationship with Rebecca, Daniel claimed they had a good marriage, though he admitted they had grown apart over time. He painted a picture of a happy couple, but Detective Lawson was not convinced. As she probed deeper, asking about their daily routines, Daniel's responses became evasive. He struggled to recall details about Rebecca's habits and interests, which struck Emma as odd for a man who claimed to love his wife. Detective Lawson and her team began to look into Daniel's life more closely. They discovered that, while he had appeared to be the picture of success, stable job, nice home, family life, there was a much darker undercurrent. Daniel had developed a sexual obsession with his stepdaughter, Lily. For months, he had been fixating on her, watching her every move, fantasizing about a life where Rebecca no longer existed. His once loving demeanor towards Rebecca faded, replaced by cold indifference. As the investigation unfolded, Lawson learned that Daniel had been spending more time at work, often claiming he had business trips that didn't exist. The police began to suspect that Daniel had ulterior motives. Did he want out of his marriage? Was he trying to pursue a relationship with Lily? As the autopsy results came back, Detective Lawson's suspicions grew. Rebecca hadn't died of natural causes. She had been poisoned. The toxicology report confirmed the presence of cyanide in her system. Emma's instincts were correct. This was no accident, but a deliberate act of murder. The revelation sent shockwaves through the investigative team. Detective Lawson immediately focused on Daniel. Who else had access to Rebecca's drink? Who could have wanted her dead? As they searched the Cooper home and delved into Daniel's personal life, they uncovered more shocking evidence. Daniel's internet search history revealed months of planning. He had researched cyanide, how to obtain it, how much was needed to kill someone, and how to make it look like a natural death. This evidence pointed to a premeditated murder. As the investigation continued, another layer of complexity emerged. Rebecca's best friend, Jessica Collins, had also been hiding a significant secret. Jessica, who had been inseparable from Rebecca for years, was having an affair with Daniel. What had started as an innocent flirtation during a gathering spiraled into a torrid affair. Jessica was aware of the betrayal, but felt powerless to resist Daniel's charm. However, as Daniel's fixation on Lily grew, Jessica became increasingly jealous and suspicious. She had witnessed the changes in Daniel and Rebecca's relationship, and she suspected something was off. When the police questioned Jessica, she portrayed herself as heartbroken over Rebecca's death, insisting she would never have wanted harm to come to her friend. Lily was devastated by her mother's sudden death. The loss of Rebecca hit her like a freight train, leaving her grappling with a whirlwind of emotions, grief, anger, confusion. Just the day before, they had been laughing together, planning their trip to Florida. Now Lily was forced to confront the horrific reality that her stepfather, a man she had trusted, was at the center of her mother's death. As Lily attempted to piece her life back together, she leaned on her friends and the community for support. But no one could truly understand the turmoil she felt inside. The news of Rebecca's death spread quickly through Maplewood, and the community was left reeling, questioning how someone they knew so well could commit such a heinous act. In January 2020, Daniel Cooper's trial began, drawing attention from local media and the community. The prosecution presented a compelling case, detailing the evidence that pointed to premeditated murder. They argued that Daniel's obsession with Lily drove him to eliminate Rebecca, the obstacle in his path. The courtroom was filled with a mix of emotions: anger, sorrow, disbelief. Friends and family of Rebecca filled the seats, hoping for justice. Detective Lawson took the stand, detailing the investigation and the evidence that led to Daniel's arrest. She described the toxicology report, the search history, and Daniel's evasive behavior during the interviews. "This was not just a crime of passion," she stated firmly. "This was a calculated act of murder." Daniel's defense attorney, Thomas Reed, attempted to portray him as a man overwhelmed by stress and emotional turmoil, arguing that he had no intention of killing Rebecca. Daniel loved Rebecca, but their relationship had become strained, Reed claimed. This was not a premeditated act. It was a tragic outcome of a troubled marriage. However, the evidence against Daniel was overwhelming. Witnesses testified to the changing dynamics in the Cooper household, revealing the growing tension between Rebecca and Daniel. After several days of emotional testimony, the jury deliberated and returned with their verdict. Daniel Cooper was found guilty of first-degree murder. The judge sentenced him to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For Lily, justice had been served, but the pain of losing her mother would remain with her forever. In the years following the trial, Maplewood slowly returned to its normal rhythm, but the memory of Rebecca Cooper's murder lingered in the air. To honor Rebecca's legacy, her friends and family established the Rebecca Cooper Foundation, dedicated to supporting underprivileged children and families in the community. The foundation quickly became a symbol of hope and resilience, ensuring that Rebecca's spirit would continue to inspire others. Lily, although forever changed by the loss of her mother and the betrayal of her stepfather, found strength in her community and her mother's memory. She became an advocate for mental health awareness, sharing her story to help others who had experienced loss and trauma. As time passed, Lily returned to her studies, determined to fulfill her dream of becoming a doctor. With the support of her friends, mentors, and the community, she worked tirelessly to honor her mother's memory. Every year, on the anniversary of Rebecca's death, Lily organized a community event to raise awareness for mental health and to support the foundation established in her mother's name. The events drew large crowds, bringing people together to remember Rebecca and support families in need. "My mother was a beacon of light in our community," Lily shared at one event. "I want to continue her legacy of kindness and support for those who are struggling." As she navigated the complexities of her grief, Lily found solace in sharing her experiences with others. She learned that healing was a journey, one that required patience, resilience, and the unwavering support of those around her. The impact of Rebecca's murder was felt throughout Maplewood. The community, once a place of comfort and safety, had been shaken to its core. People who once left their doors unlocked now installed security systems, and conversations shifted to include discussions about safety and vigilance. Detective Lawson, now a respected figure in the department, often reflected on the case. "Every investigation teaches us something," she remarked during a community meeting. But this one served as a reminder that darkness can lurk behind even the most ordinary facades. Lily's advocacy work brought the community together, and slowly, healing began. Schools started mental health programs, local organizations partnered to provide resources for families, and support groups formed to help those affected by violence. As the years went by, Lily graduated from college and entered medical school, fueled by her passion to help others. Each step she took was a tribute to her mother, whose kindness had inspired so many. During her time in medical school, she met other students who had faced challenges of their own, forming bonds over shared experiences. Together, they worked on projects that focused on mental health, using their education to advocate for change in the healthcare system. "I want to create a world where everyone feels safe and supported," Lily said during a panel discussion on mental health awareness. "No one should have to go through what my mother did." The Rebecca Cooper Foundation continued to grow, providing scholarships for underprivileged students and funding mental health programs in schools. Lily's tireless efforts ensured that her mother's legacy would live on, helping countless families in the community. In Maplewood, the memory of Rebecca was honored every year through the Foundation's events, bringing people together to celebrate her life and the impact she had on others. The annual memorial became a time of reflection, joy, and unity. "My mother taught me the importance of kindness and community," Lily said during one memorial. "Her spirit lives on in every life we touch through this foundation." As Lily approached her final year of medical school, she reflected on her journey. The path had been filled with challenges, but she had emerged stronger and more determined than ever. She was about to begin her residency, a dream she had worked tirelessly to achieve. "I know my mother would be proud," she thought, tears welling in her eyes as she looked at a photo of Rebecca on her desk. Lily had transformed her pain into purpose, using her experiences to inspire others and create change. The loss of her mother would always leave a void, but through her work and the foundation, Lily found a way to honor Rebecca's memory every single day. In the wake of the tragic events that unfolded in Maplewood, the story of Rebecca Cooper and her daughter Lily served as a cautionary tale for many. It highlighted the darker aspects of human nature and the lengths one might go to fulfill their desires. Detective Lawson often reminded her colleagues, "We must remain vigilant, as we never know the battles people are fighting behind closed doors." The case also became a topic of discussion in schools and community forums, emphasizing the importance of communication, trust, and the need to speak up when something feels wrong. As Lily continued her journey in medicine, she found fulfillment not only in her career but in the relationships she built along the way. She surrounded herself with friends who supported her mission and understood the weight of her past. Together, they worked to create a network of support for those dealing with trauma and loss. Lily realized that while the scars of her mother's death would never fully heal, she could channel her pain into helping others find their strength. Healing is not linear, Lily often reminded her peers. It's a journey we take together, supporting one another along the way. Years later, as she stood at the podium during a community event, now a respected doctor, Lily reflected on her journey. She spoke passionately about mental health, resilience, and the importance of community support. We must continue to stand together, advocate for one another, and never forget the lessons learned from tragedy, she urged the audience. In doing so, we honor those we have lost and create a better future for ourselves and those around us. The crowd erupted in applause, and Lily felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She had turned her grief into purpose, her pain into advocacy, and her mother's legacy into a force for good in the community. The story of Rebecca Cooper had left an indelible mark on Maplewood, serving as a reminder of the complexities of life, the darkness that can exist behind closed doors, and the power of community to heal. The Rebecca Cooper Foundation flourished, and its impact was felt far beyond the boundaries of Maplewood. Each year, more and more people came together to support the cause, ensuring that Rebecca's spirit lived on through acts of kindness and generosity. Lily's journey had come full circle. In her heart, she knew that while her mother was gone, her love, lessons, and light would forever guide her path. The community had rallied around her, and together, they had forged a legacy of hope and resilience. In the end, the tragic events that unfolded on that fateful April morning had transformed the lives of many. Rebecca's death served as a catalyst for change, igniting a movement that would continue to inspire future generations. The story of Lily and Rebecca Cooper would never be forgotten. It reminded everyone that even in the face of darkness, there is always a chance for healing, hope, and a brighter tomorrow.